We have a lot to cover on our show this morning, but first, let's go to Rebecca at the news desk.
Thanks, Tubal. Our generous Governor Pilot announced the launching of a formal investigation into the desecration of cemeteries after Friday's earthquake. No explanation was offered for the associated darkness that overtook the city. Several Sanhedrin members demonstrated their holiness by tearing clothing in response to the theft of numerous corpses. The governor's office expressed that it will keep the peace by any means necessary. Recent pardoned Barabbas was sternly warned that any criminal activity would result in the swift application of Roman justice. And we all know what that means. Sanhedrin officials continue to remain silent about the rumored damage to the Holy Temple. In a release statement, people are reminded of the importance of listening to and obeying the teachers of the law. Common sinners should not be concerned with these events, especially in regards to the arrest and execution of the blaspheming revolutionary leader, Jesus. Citizens are reminded that Jesus had received a fair trial through examination of both religious scholars and our generous Governor Pilate. This action was necessary to protect the people. It is expected, like many false prophets, Jesus will soon be forgotten. Now, back to you, Tubal.
Thanks, Rebecca. As usual, we had a lot going on in our fair city this weekend. Riots, prophets, crucifixions, and even a small earthquake. This morning, we're going to discuss the latest Messiah wannabe. The ever formerly popular Jesus met his fate on Golgotha at the hands of our generous Governor Pilate. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to our first guest, well known in our fair city as High Priest Caiaphas. Thanks for coming on our show. Let's get down to business. Let's talk about Jesus. Last week he came to town. It was great like he came. Everyone loved him. So what happened?
Sorry to disappoint you people, but he was just another false prophet, a criminal and a revolutionary. We had to protect the people.
You make him sound so dangerous. I understand that he healed a lot of people. He talked a lot about love and forgiveness. He seemed to have a very peaceful mission. Was Jesus really such a dangerous revolutionary?
Absolutely. Jesus was actually talking about destroying the Holy Temple. Hardly peaceful.
That seems pretty outlandish. Could he and his band really have brought down the temple?
We weren't going to wait and find out. He'd already caused a small riot when he flipped over all the money tables.
I understand you had to deal with a lot of angry merchants.
Jesus was very disruptive. No doubt, being from a poor community, he resented our wealthy citizens. He rejected wealthy men. I'm talking about people who kept the commandments and were blessed by God. They weren't allowed to join his group. He preferred the company of sinners.
As you say, however, I'd really like to talk about those who reportedly healed. A lot of people thought that was evidence that Jesus was a prophet sent by God. I'm told he healed a blind beggar at the pool of Siloam, a man that had been begging down there for as long as anyone can remember.
A sinner like you wouldn't understand, Tubal. God would never heal some dirty old beggar, a man steeped in sin since birth, especially on the Sabbath. Jesus had power, but it wasn't from God. We know. We tested him. Trust me, Jesus was dangerous.
So you need to act quickly.
Yes, he viciously attacked the teachers of the religious law and the Pharisees.
This was in the temple.
Yes, he called us, the most holy men in all of Jerusalem, hypocrites. Jesus accused us of shutting the doors to the kingdom of heaven. He actually compared the holy Sanhedrin to a brood of vipers.
So while everyone slept, you arrested him in the middle of the night with swords and clubs. Sounds pretty Roman to me.
I don't have to explain myself to the likes of you.
Yes, well, I think our next guest could clear things up. He is very familiar with swords and clubs. Let's give a warm welcome to Barabbas, recently pardoned by our generous Governor Pilate in honor of the Passover.
Yeah!
Barabbas!
Yeah!
Barabbas, welcome to our show. Thank you for coming.
I'm glad to be here.
I guess so. I mean, pardoned and spared from crucifixion. How does it feel?
Exhilarating.
Wow. Go back to when you learned you've been spared.
I gotta tell you, Tubal, I was prepared to die. I never expected pardon from filthy Romans. I'd kill them all if I could.
Still feel that way, even after our generous Governor Pilate spared you.
Look, Pilate had nothing to do with it. But nothing. Look, Pilate thought that the crowd would petition for Jesus. That's what our generous governor wanted. He even proclaimed him innocent in front of all of you. But when the crowd chanted, "We want Barabbas," Pilate had to release me.
He wanted to release Jesus.
Why not? Romans fear me. What did Jesus ever do?
Jesus was a dangerous blasphemer. He claimed to be the Son of God.
Okay, look, I'm no scholar priest, but that man did not deserve crucifixion.
It's the law.
Yeah, Roman law, torture, humiliation. You handed him over to the Romans. You and those temple guards pleaded with Pilate. You wanted Jesus crucified.
As I said, he blasphemed against our God.
Yeah, you keep telling us that, but I also wonder if it had something to do with Jesus calling you out.
Jesus had his trial. You should thank us, perhaps.
Thank you, Roman puppet. At least I can see when Romans are coming for me.
You ungrateful, filthy murderer!
Whoa, hey.
Murderer!
He didn't mean that. Let's bring out our next. Maybe we should bring out our next guest. Please offer your warmest welcome to our next guest, Hodiah, the baker's daughter. What we have here is one of Jesus' followers. They are very hard to come by lately.
They abandoned him. What's left of them are in hiding.
Hodiah, I'm told that you follow Jesus.
Yes.
You'll have to speak up.
Yes, I did.
You must have been devastated to learn of his arrest and crucifixion. Tell me, how did a young, beautiful baker's daughter become involved with Jesus?
He saved me.
Saved you from what?
They accused me of adultery. They wanted to have me stoned, but Jesus wouldn't let them.
If a man is discovered committing adultery, both he and the woman must die. It's the law. Any teacher of the religious law knows that. She should be stoned.
I was so scared. They blamed me for everything, but Jesus knew. He said the one without sin could throw first. They dropped their stones and left. I looked up, and Jesus spoke to me. He said, "Where are your accusers now?" They had all gone.
So they stoned your lover, huh? That's too bad.
No, they grabbed me and left him go. They blamed me for everything. They called me Jezebel. No one asked me what happened.
It was probably one of yours.
Tubal, no one wants to hear her lies.
Please, let's give her a chance to explain. Hodiah, so you followed Jesus because he saved you from stoning?
It was more than that.
More than saving your life?
When Jesus spoke to me, he really cared. Not like others. He was different than anyone I ever met. I saw him heal sick people and cast out demons.
This ignorant sinner knows nothing. She's clearly been deceived. Tubal, get her out of here. Now!
Jesus said, "I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness."
Blasphemy! Anyone who blasphemes the name of the Lord must be stoned to death by the whole community of Israel. It's the law!
I understand Jesus was very charismatic. Clearly, this young woman is very impressionable. Please don't take anything that she says too seriously.
Jesus said, "No one comes to the Father but through him." He promised the kingdom of heaven. If you repent, he'll forgive you.
Tubal! Silence this whore! Now!
Hey, come on, Caiaphas. Give her a break. What harm can she do? After you had Jesus tortured and killed.
Jesus was the Messiah. God sent him to save you, and you killed him.
Enough of this blasphemy! Silence her, Tubal, or I see to it that you'll be on trial next, and you'll both be stoned!
Any views or opinions expressed by our guests are their own and not endorsed by this show or its sponsors.
Jesus corrupted that poor sinner's mind, giving her hope where none exists. You all heard her blasphemy. She should be stoned. I came on this show to expose Jesus, not to spread his poison.
Yes, of course, I believe our next guest can clear things up. Please welcome Centurion Titus Gaius Longinus, the Roman officer in charge of Jesus' crucifixion. Our generous Governor Pilate has allowed him to be on our show this morning, so please welcome Centurion Longinus.
We haven't forgotten you.
Careful, Roman. You don't want to violate Pilate's pardon.
Whoa. Hey. Thank you, Barabbas, for being on
Another
the show.
time, Roman.
Centurion, welcome. So you supervised the execution of Jesus. Can you verify his death?
Yes, it was my responsibility. I personally confirmed Jesus' death. Crucifixion is very effective, and we were in a hurry to finish it.
Why is that?
Pilate sent a messenger ordering us to hasten things, so the condemned bodies wouldn't just hang there during Passover. I think he was just worried that one of Jesus' followers would try something.
Jesus has no followers. They abandoned him.
Yes, so Centurion, how did you hasten things?
Simple. They were still alive, we'd break their legs, so they couldn't hold themselves up anymore. They suffocate quicker that way. The legionnaires broke 2 of the prisoners' legs, but when they got to Jesus, he was already dead. One even speared him just to make sure.
Jesus died like a common criminal?
He died, but there was nothing common about his crucifixion.
How so?
He was the most compassionate man I had ever crucified. He seemed more concerned about everyone else. His mother, the criminal next to him, even us.
Compassionate? What do you mean compassionate?
Look, I've seen a lot of men die. As he was hanging there, he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing." He was talking about us, after what we did.
He had been ridiculed and flogged. He was exhausted. He was delusional.
No, there's more. After that, my legionnaires mocked him more, offered him drink. Every dying man is thirsty, even though we gave him sour wine. After that, we fastened a sign above his head. It said, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." And his people scoffed. Let him save himself.
Sounds brutal.
Yeah, it's a real tough way to go. Finally, Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I entrust my spirit into your hands." And then he died. It became so dark after that. He wasn't worried about suffering or dying. He was innocent.
Roman! Gentile! You know nothing of these things. Your governor ordered his death.
Pilate wanted Jesus released. Said he was innocent. Would have washed his hands of the whole thing. You wanted Barabbas, that murderer! Jesus was right. You hypocrite. You disgust me.
Pilate still gave the order. And you carried it out.
I never said I was innocent.
I've just been informed that we have a breaking news alert. We're going to go to Rebecca at the news desk. Rebecca.
Thanks, Tubal. Just in. As you know, we're continuing to follow up on the arrest and crucifixion of the Nazarene Jesus. We're going immediately to our on-scene reporter, JL, who is outside a garden near Golgotha. JL?
Thanks, Rebecca. That's correct. I'm reporting to you live with Laban Garner for Joseph of Arimathea. Laban, can you please tell me of today's events?
Yes, I take care of the garden here and I live nearby.
So what happened today?
It started all yesterday. I saw these two women running from the garden over there. They were acting really crazy. I knew there were guards posted there at Jesus' tomb and thought I had to do with that. Maybe they were harassing the women. You know how Romans are.
Yes, I do. Why were the soldiers in the garden?
Well, they put Jesus' body in the tomb in the garden. Joseph donated it, and I guess he liked the man. And with all the fuss, the Romans didn't want anyone messing around, so they sent some guards over.
Do you know why?
I don't exactly know. I mean, today I went to do my gardening, and that's when I saw it. I can't figure it out.
What did you see?
Well, the guards were gone, and the huge stone entrance that was blocking the way was gone.
Jesus' tomb?
That's right. I was a little shocked about the whole thing, and so after a little while, I crept up and looked in. Jesus' body's gone too.
There you have it, Rebecca. Jesus' body missing, legionnaires missing.
Can you confirm the gardener's story?
We confirmed the empty tomb, but can't say what happened.
Thanks, Rebecca. Wow, what do you have to say about that? What is it?
I'm sorry. I have to go. I must report to Governor Pilate immediately.
Jesus' tomb, it was robbed? Pilate had posted guards, but they ran off? Jesus' tomb was open and someone stole his body? Caiaphas, what does this mean? Let's have a word from our sponsors.
The Tubal Show is sponsored in part by the 10th Frontensis Legion Guardians of the Emperor's Peace in Jerusalem, and the Dead Sea Salt Company. Are you worth your salt?